dinner tonight? My name is Jerry Lynn Smith and I'm a County Extension Agent with Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. Today I'm going to be preparing an easy and quick stovetop green chili chicken enchilada dish that's perfect for those evenings when you're short on time but want to still prepare a healthy meal for your family. The first step in our recipe is to saute some onions. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil to our electric skillet, and when that's nice and hot we add our onions. We have 2/3 cup chopped onions, and the best type of onions to use when you're cooking is white or yellow. So we're going to add those to our oil and saute them for just a minute or two. So we're sauteing our onions until they're nice and tender but not caramelized. This takes just a couple of minutes, and we want to constantly stir them in the pan so they don't burn. Alright, our onions are nice and sauteed and tender. So now we're going to add our first thickening agent. We're going to add 1/4 cup of flour to our onions, and we're going to stir this up so that the flour and the onions and the oil are all mixed together. Alright, after about a minute, then we can start to add our liquid. We have 2 cups of low sodium chicken broth. And the best way to add a liquid to a thickening agent is to gradually pour it into your skillet and stirring constantly with a whisk. Using a whisk is really important because that will keep the consistency of your base nice and thin and also eliminate any lumps in your base. Alright, that's starting to get thick, and we're going to keep adding it gradually into the flour and letting it cook and absorb. And stir it constantly with your whisk, and it's starting to get really nice and thick. Alright, we'll add a little bit more chicken broth. Alright, that's getting nice and thick. So now we're going to keep adding our broth and stirring. Oh, that's starting to look really good. It's also smooth. Alright. Let's incorporate all our broth into our thickening agent. Next, we're going to add our main ingredients. Here we have 2 cups of diced green chilies, and these are already prepared in the can, and you can find these in the Latino section of your grocery store. So we're going to add those to our broth. And next we're going to add 2 cups of shredded chicken breast. And again, if you're in a hurry, you can just get the canned chicken and drain it, then shred it up, and then add it to your dish. Or you can get frozen chicken that's already cooked also and add. Or perhaps you have some leftover chicken from another dish you made previous, and you can add that too. So this makes it really, really quick to do this way. Alright, we're going to stir that up just a little bit. So we mix our chilies and our chicken into our broth. Now we need to add a little flavoring. So I have 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. So we're going to sprinkle that on top of our dish. And then you can use a spoon or a spatula and mix it up very well. So we want all the flavors to mix together. And it's getting nice and thick too. Well, it's starting to look really good. Alright. Now, after this is all mixed together, we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And that will continue to cook and heat thoroughly and to thicken just a little bit more. Okay, now we've let it cook for about 5 minutes, and it has simmered and it's all mixed together. It looks really good. And we're going to add our next thickening agent, and that is cornstarch and water. And cornstarch is a wonderful product to use to thicken things because it dissolves very quickly in water, and it doesn't take a lot to thicken something up. So I've added 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to 1/4 cup of water, and I've mixed it up, and we're going to add that to our dish. And you can already start to see that it's thickening. And we'll keep stirring it constantly because we don't want it to stick and burn. And it's getting nice and thick. And so now we're going to add our tortillas. And the tortillas I'm using today are corn tortillas. Corn tortillas are a better choice, a healthier choice than flour tortillas. And what I've done is I've taken 8 8 tortillas, and I've torn them into about thirds. And the reason why I have torn them instead of cutting them is to make the edges ragged, and that will allow the moisture, the liquid, to be absorbed much easier. Because if I cut them, then I would be sealing off the edges, and the broth would not be able to absorb very well. So we're going to layer those into our chicken and chilies. Just put them all over, spread them, because we're going to mix them up. And this is going to be a really tasty dish in just a few minutes. All right, have my tortillas all added to the dish. Now we're going to stir those up so that they get mixed in. And we want them to heat all the way through. And this will create our enchiladas. All right, this is looking really good. All my tortillas are mixed in. Okay, the next step is to add our cheese. I have 1½ cups of extra sharp, finely shredded cheddar cheese, and this is the reduced fat version, which is a healthy choice for you to make. And we're going to sprinkle that all over the top of our enchilada dish. And it looks like a lot of cheese, but it's always good to have a lot of cheese in a Mexican dish. Okay, now we're going to cover our dish so that the cheese will melt, and turn it down just a little bit to about medium. And that'll take about 2 minutes, and all our cheese will be melted, and then our dish will be ready to be served. Okay, let's check and see if our cheese is all melted, and it is. This looks beautiful. So what we're going to do is we're going to serve this, and this is nicely plated up with a fresh garden salad. So we're going to put this on our plate, and you can see all the cheese and the chilies and the chicken. And now it's ready to serve. So I hope when you're considering a quick and easy recipe, you'll consider dinner tonight in Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service.